What's up, guys? This is JT. I've got my Ridgid Octane router, and I've got the fence set up. And I noticed when I was trying to do the little grooves, I didn't do it on this one, but I was trying to do grooves. The fence was a little hard to deal with because it didn't have a straight all the way across, and it's got this hole in it. So when it dips down into the hole, it sometimes causes the bit to wander. What I'm gonna do is just cut a 1 3/4 little piece of pine, just a flat piece of pine. I'm going to try 1 3/4. If I need to take it down any further, that's what I'm going to do. But just for safety's sake, I'm going to cut this off camera and then I'll come back. Alrighty, well, I just dropped my phone. That was great. So I ripped it down to 1 3/4, and then I went ahead and knocked another 1/16 off, or 1/8, I'm not sure. Wasn't paying attention, so that both sides were pretty smooth, fairly smooth. And then what I'm gonna do is just center this sucker on here and put these are like door hinge screws. That's all I could find that was short enough. They're just those little pain in the butt, you know, straight screws. I use my Ridgid on low, and I'm gonna try my best to center these and make sure everything is square. So wiggle the fence a little bit, tighten it up, make sure it's square in every direction. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. Got those screws in there, they seem pretty tight. And I loosened the fence so I could try and move it. And so it looks pretty square. I don't know why that needs to be so perfect. What I'm going to try to do is cut like almost like a mortise. This is I would say 1/2 inch straight bit, and I need about 3/4 for a joint. So I'm just going to guess for the most part, and that's what I'm going to do. So we'll move it about right. Not sure exactly how far they're supposed to be. Pretty new at woodworking, so you got to bear with me on that. And also on the depth. Okay, this is the width. Wanted to go, let's just go, for now, we'll go, oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, let's see. So this is the width. We're gonna go about halfway. We're gonna lower this down just a hair. Because this is a trim router. I don't even know if it's powerful enough for this bit. So that's a little over half. And what I'm gonna do is probably set it up so it runs right down the middle of this, because I've got these pocket holes, and I don't, well, maybe I'll just run it down one side and see what it does. Okay, well, stupid me, I accidentally left my phone sitting like right here. And I went a little bit further, or a little bit deeper than I wanted to go, but such a clean cut. I mean, I paid $15.99 for these bits. This is pine. Like, usually you get some massive tear out and all kinds of issues. Just a tiny bit of tear out right there. And fairly clean. It was smooth. So what I gotta do is try to take our piece here and maybe scribe a line with a pencil, and then get it just inside that pencil, and then I'm gonna work my way towards it so it's not too big, just as some practice for if I make any sort of a cabinetry or drawers or anything like that. And I'm sorry I can't film it while I'm doing it because I'm on my phone and I don't have a tripod for my phone. Alright, look at me, I'm covered in sawdust everywhere. So it worked really well. It was just a guessing game at that point. I'll get better. This is actually the first time I've done that, and I believe this is like a mortise or something. Correct me if you know what I'm talking about. And as you can see, I made it a little too wide, but the way this is cut, if I take just a blade width off with the skill table saw, which cuts pretty straight, or maybe an 1/8 inch, I take that off on the skill saw, or I mean the table saw, well, yeah, it is a skill, then I might be able to make this work. And keep in mind, I'm not using tape measure or anything like that, I'm just guessing. And as you can see, the bottom of that cut is super clean. I mean, super clean. Like it's smooth as butter. You could almost use this bit. If you had like a CNC machine, this bit would even work to straighten out boards, flatten them out. I know they have special bits for that, but it's not that bad. It's a cheap Chinese made, you know, router bit, 1/4 inch router bit, but it does the job. That's crazy. I just got to get better at, you know, measuring and figuring that out. And I don't have a router table yet, so I don't know if you can tell, but this camera does not like to focus. Anyways, this cut is super clean. I mean, super clean. This one, not as much, but it's not that bad. So that's my first attempt at like a mortise, or whatever this is called. Some sort of a joint. And then on the top, like I said in my other video, I did a chamfer. So, yeah. Works wonders. And this little fence actually, it helps a lot. I mean a lot. And it's just a little straight piece of the same kind of pine. But I'm gonna see if I can't cut this down and fit it in there. I needed to take about maybe a blade width. I'm gonna do a little bit less and work my way towards it. So right about there. And this, of course, I'll have to use my, you have to use my push stick. Hopefully it cuts clean. A lot of times it's hard to keep against the fence while you're cutting, so we'll see how this ends up. Okay, right off the bat, do not cut pieces that small that are going to just be on this little piece, this red piece right here, because it's flexible plastic, and what it does is it causes the blade to bind. This needs to be replaced almost immediately to a 0 clearance, or even for smaller pieces, maybe make a jig, because as you can see, it did not cut clean at all. But let's see how close I am. Look at that. Look at that for guessing. That's just I just guessed. I didn't even measure. I just lined it up and guessed. So goes in there nice and flush. I mean, that side's not sanded if I flipped it around, but that's tight right there. I mean, that's super tight. Hey, look, I made a flag. Too bad America's falling apart. Or the United States, anyway. Yay! Huh. See? I made a little flag. Anyways, thanks for watching this really stupid video, but this router right here, I swear, man. Like, I had a Bosch 1/2 inch, and this is easier to use, easier to control. The Bosch would have been a lot better in an actual router table, but this one for hand trimming or trim routing is better. And even from my last video, I still haven't charged the battery, and it's only down to 2. So the battery life on it's pretty good. It's a brushless one, obviously. And once you get this little fence on here, it makes it so much easier. The only problem is if you're doing something on flat and you got this fence sticking down past. See, I was having to lean the piece off the edge of my table saw like that, or at least like that, you know, to where the fence can actually hit that side of the board. And yeah, I mean, it worked out perfect. Look at that. Just need some practice, and that's about it. So once we practice and we get all that stuff knocked out, like the knowledge part, and then we apply that knowledge, then we can start building cabinets and other really cool things like vanities for the bathroom. And one thing this saw does really well, I don't know, I'm getting off topic, but the dust control on this saw, like the dust port, it just shoots it all that way. You hardly ever end up with stuff on the top. Almost all this sawdust that's on the top came from the router itself. So don't know if you care about that, but I just thought I'd tell you. But yeah, this bit is really good, I gotta say. I will look at the my purchase order, and I will tell you what brand it is, or whatever information I can tell you about it. But they seem really good. They're sharp. They're supposed to be tungsten. I don't know if that's true. The shaft obviously mounts well in this router. As for others, I can't speak for that. And like I said, it does a really clean cut. I mean, very clean. Like the Harbor Freight ones I have, not even close. Let's see if I can flip this over. And that one spot, see, it didn't cut that one spot. So if I push this down in there, it's really tight. Like, just a little bit of glue and that thing would be just perfect. And you can see where the cut kind of went off, where it was slipping towards the blade, right in this area. Right in this area. That's why there's a little gap. That's not from the router. It's actually from the table saw. But as you can see, it fits in there just snug. Be a nice glue joint. But that's all for this video. And yeah, good tools equal good cuts, good blades, good bits. I mean, that's where it's at. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for your time.